Hit that like button and subscribe. I don't need no bullshit today. Hit that like button. And shout out to the few people that's in this motherfucker early. Lord have mercy. Today's topic: AI cannot handle the truth. Part 1. The Gillespie algorithm. Press 1. Yeah. I was in here beating earlier. All right.
That's right.
That's right.
Hey man, they been waiting on this shit since what you know, huh? Yeah. Well, it's the king, bitch. My nigga. The wait is over, nigga. Hey, hey.
1 for the money, 2 for the show, dog. 3 for the niggas hating on the low. Y'all know a picture worth a million words. I'ma show you. Death before dishonor, family before all.
Every day.
Without the braids, I'm the closest thing to old dog. Minus the testimony, say it ain't so, homie.
Hey, shout it like that, don't it?
Whoever hopped off my, I got him right back on it. Don't worry about it.
Step back, brush myself off. Pick business back up right where I left off.
Hey.
I can show my dough. That other guy just talk. Hey, where I live just as big as your projects, dog.
Hey.
Better check my swagger.
How I walk, how I talk, how I stack that cheddar. What I drive, how I dress, nigga. Let's just better 100 stacks on that, nigga. I'm just better.
Better.
Somebody better tell them, man. They swag, oh my swag,
Everything.
Hey, very plain to see you steady me off a hard.
To the point that my swag need a bodyguard.
I think a thank you cause and all of y'all ought to be having y'all swag sending minds an apology. A lot of little me's I see.
Won't be.
What's the possibility?
Stop shit.
You not me.
Hardly worth a hill of beans. Step up to the guillotine.
Get decapitated.
Don't say how happy these niggas made it. Say good.
Back to the fame and fortune.
Say la vie.
What the
Game need with these niggas. They got me.
I ride through the city so clean, seat really low, automobile so pretty.
But I'm illy though.
No comparison.
Fact.
Ain't a nigga more thorough than this gangster.
American.
Flow doper than heroin. King like Evelyn. Champagne, man, so deranged and belligerent. Ranked up there with Benjamin.
Who?
Andre 3K, B.I.G, Jay-Z, UGK, Scarface, Machiavelli, D-Great, Wayne, Common, Kanye, and Lupe.
So fuck what they say.
Welcome to Ask Who
You made.
Bet they say as of today,
I'm back on top like a toupee. All objections overruled.
It's overdue, both high and sober too.
I'm so high
Up
up
over
over
you.
you.
Same guy you see in the streets is as
Flying here in the booth.
So don't be surprised when you meet me to see I'm really
Really
the truth.
the truth.
Ooh, so uncool.
Facts.
Nigga who want proof must agree it shit I did can't no one undo.
I stay on my
1, 2.
nigga who want to.
Turn a
Press
brush into
what?
a brawl, do what you gonna do. I'm wired, hot as a bitch in here,
Hey.
still cool as a Frigidaire. This year I'm on a mission.
I
dear.
think that was something.
Listen here.
Hey, listen here. Press 1.
For the hell of it, hella rich. Never have
Fuck
to sell
that.
a brick again. Must I tell a
I
bitch
gotta keep
again?
talking
The
my
bullshit
shit,
I'm addressing, check
'cause
up
they
on some
scared of
next
me.
level shit. Never been fucked in
They
the
scared.
game. I'm celibate. Rarely out my element. Barely out the ghetto.
Hey.
1 foot out and 1 foot in. Intelligent
Facts.
as fellas get. Listen, let's settle this.
Let's be clear. I can fall back 7 years.
Still, it ain't no one
Ain't nobody
ahead of
over
me.
there.
Consider it a blessing
If you get to stand next to me.
5-star general.
Hey, OG veteran. Cake like Edelman. Blowing my celery.
Stack that cash
Like the U.S. Treasury.
every single thing
I ever did was done heavenly.
Rap it till you're 70.
Hey, still ain't no catching me. I put it on my pops
Big field.
and Beverly. Been standing on the top still after y'all buried me.
Nose in the air.
I'm so stuck up and arrogant.
Ain't got long.
High songs, best cherish it.
When I drop mine,
That's over. Finito.
paying for your foul.
Like a free throw.
Bow. Now,
How could you niggas think that y'all could see me?
other than the magazine covers.
All this TV.
No, I sold more mixtapes.
Then it's
CD.
waiting on they big break. Praying they can be me. They ain't make it far as DC. On the low. Been all around this bitch.
Like a god.
How they treat me.
Broads hit their knees.
Eyes closed when they greet me.
Mouth wide open jet.
Begging me to skeet. You in the deep sleep. Stop dreaming.
I'm 6 albums in
For 10 years.
I've been 5 hot
Steaming.
The limelight's mine.
Now I'm gleaming. Beaming. That's why I said I'm king, bitch. I got my reasons.
So frosty, next
Shorty, they ain't about that, really. Yeah. Yeah. See, I run this city. Fact. Hey, where Young Pharaoh at? Come here, little niggas. Where you niggas get off? Piss off. The papa lit off. Answer me, is y'all sick in your fucking mind? You're figuring I'm a fizz off. Never cooled off, kept scorching. So y'all wishing me maximum misfortune. See, everybody think that y'all stink like horse shit. On some girls next door shit. Of course, in my case, I lost all my endorsements. Doubled up on KevRow, still buying more shit. Still caked up along with more reinforcement. From the ladder to the rooftop officially. The hottest nigga talking since Tupac. Best out about me. I need counseling. Doubt me. This drama ain't nothing. Boom, limit my discussion with rappers beat. I find out about it, better get the. Better pack your family bags, move them out to wherever cross paths you need bandages. I'm YouTube champion for real though. Y'all couldn't fuck with me with no Brazil hoes, nigga. Hey, guap. Yeah. When I want to. It's me, KevRow. It's on 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah. Hey, listen. What's the remix? I ain't good as that one, the nigga. Fuck that. Hey, Bankhead. Yeah. Shut up, King bitch. Press button. That's how you gotta talk to him on YouTube. Oh shit, this my hit. Hey.
For as long as I remember, I've been telling y'all, man.
Pull these niggas' resumes. Hey. Y'all better check on these niggas' resumes.
These niggas be lying, man. These niggas ain't really kicking this shit. They be telling y'all, man. They wanna see y'all get fucked up.
Just come on to school, bro. Don't believe it, bro.
These niggas ain't cool.
What they talk about, you niggas ain't. I heard them say it. You niggas ain't true. Don't be no fool. You better bring your ass to school. Gangsta something you niggas can't. What you expect? You niggas ain't rich. Flipping bricks. You niggas ain't shit. Every time you hear them rhyming, how they be out there shining, paper trapping. Telling y'all, sell weed till they run into some real pot to tell us where it is. We'll leave. Boy, the llama there squeeze, please. One time, got shot, got a job, came up with a instant tats, with a look, talked up in the book. Any real nigga know better, man. Facts. But it really ain't true. You niggas ain't true. Don't be no fool. Gangsta something you niggas can't. What they expect. It's so sad. It's official, man. Fact. Hey. You get caught, man. Them niggas gon' tell. Shit, they ain't gotta put up on the scale. Just tell them, yeah. You niggas just yell. You niggas gon', if they got a pistol, they don't wanna go to jail. It's the gladiator school. I can see them niggas scared. Just said, you wanna play it. Aim the show all the way down, and where you going? You ain't really under, you ain't under suspicion of the feds. But they get behind a mic and just say it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I only meant to play one song because YouTube tripping with me, and I really don't care no more. Press button. That's all. My beef is with YouTube, not you. So get out your feelings. Get out your feelings. Did y'all enjoy the show yesterday? Good. Yesterday was brilliant. Excellent showcase of information. And to see the experiments being done, the ritualistic behavior at the world's fairs, the so-called games and the city games are nothing more than ritualistic behavior. I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. But you know what? When things get that good, I know a change gonna come. Press one. See, all that happened in the past. So we here today, just analyzing the past with a new spectrum and new eyeglasses and goggles on, depending on what you can afford. They all do the same thing. They're made in China. Press one. So now we're able to look back in the past with our 3D glasses that's made from China. And see what the fuck happened. So it looks like a whole extermination program happened to our people. And we've just been entertained for the last maybe 50 years of just straight total darkness. Maybe 40 years. Maybe 40 years in the wilderness or 50 years per jubilee. Depending on how you want to look at it. It's a beautiful time to be alive. And the only thing I can tell you is keep your spiritual blinders on. You can look, but keep your spiritual blinders on of discernment. Know I am the host of the show, the motherfucking sound technician until everybody else comes. You feel me? Until you wake up. I ain't tripping. So just don't take none of this personal. If you're going to take anything here personal, take the law personal. The rest of this is filler. So don't get in your feelings. Don't get in, because just when you think I'm talking about you, I could be talking about 2 or 3 people and combined into one. And you just feel a certain aspect of a character I got right here. So don't fuck yourself up by thinking this is about you or ain't nobody bigger than a program, nigga. Press one. That's what the mistake people make over, and no matter how long, they just think Kev over here tripping. No, I ain't tripping. I'm talking to 10 people at one time. Press one. When you supposed to be focused. What up, George? I see you this morning. What up with it? D-Jack, Marley, Brittany in the building. What's up, Brittany? Chris Cook, Forest Glory, Shiva, Mr. Success Builder, Ali Ware. What's up, champion? Yeah, we fucking them up on the internet because you know why? I got my new channel, right? And I noticed the internet can't fuck with me. At no level. They can't fuck with us. A person with his mind right, his spiritual mind on, his physical mind on, you feel me? They can't fuck with him. Or her, for that matter. Because it ain't about him or her. This is more about the individual. So, it's up to you to be able to walk your path. Because I'm doing with my ancestors. Let me tell my offended witches and warlocks. I'm doing what my ancestors said, dude. My ancestors said, pass me them things. Let's get them. Press one. Y'all sitting back in y'all feelings. Y'all need to wake up. Hit that like button. My ancestors said, get them. Press one. And so when I get them, I get them that way. They activate in my genetic makeup, and then my whole lineage comes to fruition. And that's what you can do too. But you ain't did it yet because y'all playing. Y'all just saying y'all ancestors. But me, this whole ship has been here this whole time, this whole rowboat, and they witnessed Kev discover not only his ancestors, but himself. Right here. Right here, right here. And not only that, Kev refuses to let you come to class and come smoke with him and wake up without you doing the same. That's why I'll be like, y'all got to speak, because it shows your level of encouragement and your to get in touch with your root chakra. You gotta get in touch with the root chakra. You feel me? You gotta go to the base of the tree. It's the only way they understand, bro. You gotta, and the base is your ancestors. So your ancestors lived through you, like on the movie Avatar. Press what? They lived through you. You are an incarnation of the past. So you gotta be the time traveler, like Gage or Gage up in the comic books, and go back in time and find your story. If you don't find, no matter where on this earth you're from, you can reach back in time and find your story. Whether it's on the good side here and bad side, or just the reverse, what's considered bad, whatever the fuck, doesn't matter. You here today, and every person has a chance to correct their family's curse, whether it's evil or doubly evil. Verse 1. Not to look back on it in shame, and then for other people to become judgmental, because you black doesn't mean you had a great slave story, that in all of this other stuff, that there's things that our people did in the past that got to be changed as well. So I don't want nobody, criticizing each other based on useless conditions like that. I'm like, oh, I'm black, so no, that doesn't mean shit. That doesn't mean I'm black, so I'm good. No, that's not how that works. I just want people to know that, what works in the world ain't working right here on the road. I'm just saying, Channel 54 kind of standing on something original. And when you transition into better things, it's always better to upgrade and bring the things along with you that works, and get as much that things that don't work or has a consistency of not working in the past. That's the whole thing of working towards goals and seeing what you saw in the past come to fruition in the now. Damn, Billy Carson better watch out. That's one. That's the whole thing about it. Because we in the now, we got to look in the past and figure out our history, not look for the federal government or some foreign agencies to tell us and reiterate some old slave narrative. We have to be able to navigate, and they know you don't know the slave story because you ain't even brought up the chemical warfare that was brought against you. So you in the wrong genetic makeup, you must be one of them, because the real war happened right here. The chemical warfare happened right here. No allegories. Press 1. The biochemical gassing and mass graves around this nation dealing with African Americans at the time is just alarming the more we look back and see the destruction. So this ain't time to play. Cool, you studying. Freestyle. Cool. That's what's up. Don't send me nothing on Instagram, Rico. Come right here to my class and talk. You feel me? If you cannot do that, that's cool. Leave me to my peace. Everybody want peace. Most people in the world work 8-hour shifts, then they got to pick up this person, then get over here and change the tire. Then they got to go over here and check if this person is okay. Bro, let me have my blessing, which is peace. If you don't have the courage or the time to speak up on what I'm talking about in the current space and time, given the subject matter, don't even waste your time. Just see me tomorrow or the next time it come about. That way I'm not stressed out. I don't like living in that stress. I'm free. Yeah, bruh. Yeah, I'm cool. I don't want them unnecessary stresses on me. Woo-wee. Because y'all, people dealing with things they don't even know. And they ain't even checking on their own self and their mental health because they got to do something else tomorrow or in a minute or the next day or right now. They just got to go do stuff. And they being so much for the world, not looking back at themselves. Press one. That's how we getting caught up in social media. Now everybody doing that NPC glitch on Instagram, but again, these are the people whose whole life is committed to the meta. So of course they're gonna be doing NPC and females acting like computer heads on the internet, and men doing the same thing for Instagram and what's that other BOGO where they feed them hot dogs and pizza and doing different things for nothing. This is the idiocy that we have come to. Ideological subversion at its finest. Don't turn whole, and a lot of these people, you're gonna be able to tell they're not even American. So for Americans to be falling for and to be talking against AI, you are the AI. You've been the AI. Most of y'all out there computer heads right now. I'm watching this shit. Damn. These people done went off the deep end. Not only that. AI is rewarding them for this, trying to create trends for you to do this. Now, I told y'all that social media, we read a report years ago on the Urban Conservative. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. On the Urban Conservative that Instagram and Twitter was creating it's a mental like twitching every about 10 seconds for people, and they really needed to take a break off of Instagram and the need for this. And now watching these trends go, I can see them short-circuiting themselves, because eventually you're not going to be able to come out that mentality. It's going to be very hard once you train your brain to act that way. It don't take long at all. So a lot of people are still stuck in the meta. You ain't been the same since 1999. Press one. You ain't been the same since you've been in the meta this whole time. And then 2020 really threw your ass in the meta. Set you down too. Press one. By way of a what? A virus. Set everybody down, and everybody went right into the meta and became podcasting equipment. Sales went up in the black community like crack pipes did in the black community. Press one. That was having podcast equipment pop up, new podcasters everywhere. Now all the podcasters who fucked up all the people, now they got past podcasting equipment. All of the people are saying, in no relationships, start telling us what relationships is. Press one. So think back on 2020 and what's come of this. Kevin Samuels, Andrew Tate, the media firms, the media corps, Candace Owens, all of this media funded propaganda, the riot in the Capitol, all of this nonsense. Nothing transpiring, which is good. It was good for me because it allowed a lot of people to come and see the channel for what it was. And I knew eventually it was going to come apart where these entertainers was going to end up here, all these people, because Hollywood is dead. The media corporations are dead. And so and to see them come with their with their bots as if they really have all of these views. And I'm sitting up here saying, listen, this shit don't even look real. This shit, how people come out with a million views and 500,000 subscribers, and they're just the it factor in my fucking algorithm, and there's some big, oh yeah, Andrew Tate, something is off here. No, I'm not just going with that's today and technology and they knew how to use the algorithm. Nah, bots. Just like Twitter, bots. Bots in the chat rooms. People buying bots to argue with you in the chat room. That's why I tell y'all, when I call on you, I'm really coming from a perspective of who's a bot and who's not. I just need y'all to understand. But now we off into the extermination program, and it's a beautiful time to be alive. It's a beautiful time to be alive because we're able to look back in space and time and say, when did these chemicals and Kellogg's and these companies do this and use these rat poisons against us and these pesticides? And when did this happen? So what I did was look at my silly self. I woke up with the knowledge. Press 1. I woke up with the knowledge. I'm saying I'm allowing it to happen. I'm not forcing anything now. I'm just aware. And I say, yep. How did they do this? Aha. With my time continuum I was just discussing a while ago about time in the future, time in the past. Yeah, my Gillespie algorithmic theory, quantum. How were they able to do this? So I had to look back. It's in my algorithm. It's already there. So as soon as I cut on my computer, guess what was there? Press 1. So this is what I got here. This is when you look back on class and you like, wait a minute, they use these pharmaceuticals, they use this, they use that. Oh, not only that, they was riding up your blocks, spraying you with things. Riding above you, napalm and doing all type of stuff to black communities all over the nation. So now that we getting in touch with ourselves, and not metaphysically on some physical plane, this ain't that world where we got to talk in secret code metaphysically because it don't make sense. You see? No, this is simple and plain, bro. So what I did was, the military was using international corporations. Now, wait a minute. It's all making sense. This is the military using corporations, but I know y'all said the federal government. No. This is the military using federal corporations to enslave you. And not only that, genocide you. Yes. And they brought the drugs in according to their own movies where Denzel Washington was flying drugs in dead Marines and soldiers' bodies and all this other shit. So I started really thinking like, no, this is CIA. No. Fuck all that. It's the United States military authorized by the President of the United States of America. Just like I was saying, they went to war with you. Authorized at the highest level of government. Who else? Why would Bill Clinton apologize to you? What do they mean by so many people was tested on and they didn't even know it? Well, you can't count. The number is innumerable because people moved and people did this. So I start to, wait a minute. So scratch the international corporation brands, Monsanto's, all this is military. This is biochemical warfare. That's what it is. And that's how the military keep you in the state where they have maritime laws on you, laws of the sea. But to get to that a little later, I started thinking, like, wait a minute. So, on the movie They Live, remember he was looking at the advertisement, and you got to remove the Kellogg company. Remember, Kellogg was what at first? So you got to think, we thinking like, oh, Kellogg, the fucking rooster, the way it's spelled in our brains is more of art and theater than anything. See, but if you know what was behind that and the testing that went into the process of that for them to even apologize and acknowledge. So you can blame the corporation, the military, yeah, the government, yeah, they did this. So you gotta understand. Okay? So I went back and I said, okay, so they would, when we look back on old films of schizophrenia and dementia and these things that we know now caused the usurpment of this nation and hid the genocide, when you go back and look at these 1930s, 20s, 40s, 50s films of these military testing facilities, press one, shout out Pino. And you see how I gotta make sense, Pino, when you get to see it like, oh shit, they been testing on us this whole month, and that ain't just black people. Everybody, bro. We was first. But this is what it is. It's like, damn. So when you go back, the secrets, as we found out here, is in the films and not buying into their narration and their theatrics. When you watch this, well, that's why I said these world fairs is looking like if the signs wasn't on the building, you would think some horrible things was going on in there, you know, and getting the story from these entertainers and shit. It's like, damn. Like all type of trick doors could have been used to flush niggas right out of existence. Trap doors of whole, got them, 100,000. Come on, next. Anything is up for grabs because they told the story. We have yet to even think about what else. But thinking of the hotel stories and the trap doors and the ways and the secret entrances and all this crazy stuff is how I'm now looking at these horror films and these, it's like, damn, this is deep. But it's not to be ignored, you know. So when you go back and look at these films, you know, have an open mind and imagine it not being with the narration or something like that. Maybe more horrific. Not maybe. I'm sure there's so much horror in the black experience that led into everybody's black experience right here in the Americas under this regime. That's what I'm gonna call it. It's a regime, an extermination regime. And in the movies, they got us looking at the movie like, oh, Adolf Hitler was terrible. But everything Adolf Hitler, Himmler did, and all of these people, Einstein, Roosevelt, all of Roosevelts, Taft, all these people did the same things to us. So it's like a dual story running concurrent like jail time. And something is you know, we got to pay attention to that. So we know about the John B. Calhoun film study and the mice and all of that. We're going to get into that. But I do want to let y'all know I went back and watched these films, and guess what I found? I ain't even talking about Ice Cube right now. Ice Cube, get out of here. Let me see here. I found this is going to be dope because you get a sense to what I mean by the military are the ones who doing all the tests. Press one. I'm back in time right now. Y'all came to class, but guess what? Y'all walk right into, I got y'all with T.I. music. Y'all was ready, huh? Yeah, bring out the chicken wings, the motherfucking condoms, this one on us. Press one. Yes. The Center for Disease Production. A communicable, I said that right, a communicable disease center production. So this is going to be good. Pay attention. Please pay attention because, you know, I spent every minute, 15 minutes watching this. Hey, I spent every minute, 15 minutes watching this. I said, yeah, this is, thank you. I'm not trying to make this harder than it is. And you going to graduate. Not because you ain't paying attention, because I'm going to make sure you graduate. I'm going to take it real slow for the bungalows. So, yeah, they gassed us up. But in a specific manner. You got to know how to see it. You got to look at the Gillespie syntax. You feel me? Or the Gillespie algorithm. There you go. You got to read the algorithm, bruh. So this right here is called space spray. Press 1. Oh, yeah. Space spray. And I want y'all to know, we did a whole film on space spray, but it didn't look like space spray. They didn't say. They said they was doing it for bugs in black communities, right? But when you start looking at it and hearing the horror stories that come out of this, it's almost like, what the fuck did they do? And did they center these sprays and this conduct to our communities in fear of a fly infestation? You get what I'm saying? Never mind the excuse for using it. Never mind YMW Melly on why he lied about the backseat. I mean, why his excuse for doing it. See, but he was in that backseat, you see. Well, the United States military is in the backseat like YMW Melly, with all of the straws and Swisher Sweets pointed at them. Press 1 from every angle. Damn, right here. Every bullet wound of the black man in America was done by this nigga in the back seat like YMW Melly. Press 1 like that. That's why you got to stay on them and drive it home. Because they said you came from Africa. Melly said he wasn't in the car. They saying they wasn't in the car. Not only were they in the car, but you wasn't in the car. You was outside taking a pee in Africa when they did a drive-by on you. Press 1, but the evidence does not show bottom of the shrimp boat like Forrest Gump. Press 1. We talking mass extermination, a black Negro Holocaust never to be remembered, being revealed right here on the show. Press 1. This is going to be the best television program. Niggas going to be watching me in jail, if they not already. Press 1. They going to be like, sleep, bro. What? Kev finna come on. Press 1. It's going to be mandatory. Press 1. Mandatory. Get up. Hit the like button and subscribe. So pay attention to this. This is a communicable center for disease center. Pay attention to the words being used and think for yourself. Is this mass extermination or not? And if it is, get ready because we're going to show black folk, if we already did, but you know what I'm saying. Coming up on my shows, we're going to show more of these chemical and biological attacks that was done on these specific black folk at a specific time in history where the rest of them wasn't even here. So let's keep going. Sound like a Disney cartoon in the 1950s, don't it?
This woman is space spraying. She is applying a mist of insecticide that will kill the flies and mosquitoes that it contacts. It is immediately effective, but it offers only temporary control.
That's Margaret Tanger, little lying ass. Press 1, ain't nothing coming out of there but some freshener. I don't know where they got them flies from. Then them circles, and I don't know who they think they fooling, but ain't nobody see. No, that's not evidence. of nothing. Huh? Look, Margaret Sanger, look. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. That don't make no damn sense. They don't put... Woo-wee.
It is immediately effective, but it offers only temporary control. Other flies and mosquitoes will enter the house, and the operation must be repeated. This, too, is space spraying, but on a larger scale and out of doors. Here, the insecticide may be applied in either of two forms. As a mist of tiny droplets that drift...
Hold up. Tiny droplets that drip what? Press 1. Press 1. Tiny droplets of what? Let's see some tiny droplets.
Slowly downward. Or as a fog, a blanketing cloud that swirls through shrubbery and between houses. In considering outdoor space spraying, it is important to realize that the majority of flies and mosquitoes remain within 25 feet of the ground. This might be termed the insect zone, and it is this region that must be treated to achieve maximum kill.
What? What? That's a whole lot of attention. And ain't we worried about global warming right now? That's a whole lot of attention. Paid to some goddamn flies inside of some trees. Press 1. Boy, they sure know how to hide a gas cannon on the back of a truck and say they was killing flies with them. Boy, they sure know how to hide a gas cannon. Oh, shit. They sure know how to hide a motherfucking gas cannon. When I play my war video games, bro, this is the type of shit terrorists use to fire chemical warfare on my military encampment, bro. And I ain't tripping, bro. Okay, these are the, like, I will play my game today to show you.
Mist applicators are simple in their principle of operation.
Look.
A fan forces a high-velocity blast of air past the nozzles. The insecticide is injected into this air blast, which breaks the liquid into fine droplets and projects them out as a mist. There are several types of mist applicators available, some of which project a fine aerosol spray.
Aerosol. All right, write this down. Aerosol. Is that bad? We'll see.
Most of the larger machines can be rotated in a full circle.
I told you. That's a military machine. Yeah, I told you.
Also, the nozzle can be directed from side to side. Here, mist is being projected directly at fly attractants in an alley. Where there are no alleys, the mist is directed in a high arc over the houses.
Wow. So right up the alleyways, huh, y'all?
To drift slowly down through the insect zone.
Wow. Go ahead.
The speed of this downward drift is important and is governed by the size of the droplets. If they are large, the mist will fall too rapidly. A fast rate of fall shortens the arc and cuts down on the width of the swath covered. Droplets of the proper size will carry farther, producing a wide swath, and will continue to drift downward in spite of thermals or rising currents of warm air. On mist machines, droplet size is regulated by the velocity of the air blast, the choice of nozzles, and the weight of oil used, heavier oil producing coarser droplets. With fog, fine droplet size is desirable.
Okay, so that's kind of like kerosene. Like, shit, you ignite that, fuck, you're going to have a problem.
As with mist machines, several types of fog generators are available. Most of them operated from trucks, although some types are portable. A typical thermal generator will illustrate the principle of operation. In this machine, air and gasoline are pumped into a combustion chamber and ignited. The expanding hot gases pass through the fog head at terrific velocities. The insecticide is introduced into this stream of gas and is atomized into fog. Contrary to the application of mist, fog is directed along the ground where it swirls around buildings, blanketing the insect zone. Since fog is composed of exceedingly fine droplets, it is easily affected by thermals and light breezes, which will quickly carry it out of the effective area. For this reason, fog should be applied at night or in early morning or evening when the air is quiet. To measure the effectiveness of space spray treatment, it is important first to make an appraisal of the fly population by the grill method, or of the mosquito population by trapping. Continued routine sampling during the spray program will indicate the effectiveness of the treatment. For most effective application, the equipment should travel at about 5 miles per hour and mist directed downwind. With proper droplet size, this will produce a swath 100 feet or more in width. Care must be exercised in treating residential districts. Oil mist may burn foliage and spot automobiles.
Damn, told you.
Therefore, fog is frequently used in neighborhoods having expensive landscaping.
Wow. And kerosene is used what? All right then.
But remember,
it ain't gonna take nothing but a light to boom everything.
Fog is quickly carried away by light wind.
Incinerate everything.
Thermals, which occur during the warm part of the day. For best results, fog should be applied during the still hours of night, evening, or early morning. But for photographic purposes, we are demonstrating fogging technique by daylight in this film. Commonly, the city block is considered the unit of urban space spraying.
All right.
However, if
was they not doing this in airplanes as well? We saw them doing this, flying over the city in the urban developments with the same fog.
Costly insecticides must be
or smoke screen
used, then treatment of the entire block on a citywide basis becomes too expensive. Under these circumstances, spot spraying may be employed. After an insect concentration is located, spray is applied to this limited area only, whether it be a half block or a single backyard. Mist machines can be used effectively for mosquito larviciding, directing the mist downwind so it will carry a sufficient distance, producing a film of larvicidal oil on the water surface. Airplane space spraying is frequently employed for wide, inaccessible areas, although airplane application is very expensive and should be done in the early morning or late evening hours. Commercial indoor equipment is available for use in restaurants, but all food and dishes must be covered before spraying is begun. It must be emphasized that space spraying depends on contact and has little or no residual effect. Partly this is due to insufficient dosage, as the following demonstration will show. Here, mist is being applied at a normal rate. The fall of mist is picked up on a plate of glass. This operator is applying residual insecticide to another glass plate. When both plates dry, a comparison will show the difference. The dosage of the mist is entirely inadequate for residual effect. Space spraying, then, depends on contact to kill insects. The effect is immediate, and it is useful to gain quick relief from flies and mosquitoes. Outdoors, effective kill depends on treating the insect zone within 25 feet of the ground. This may be accomplished by applying a mist of insecticide that drifts slowly down through the zone, or a fog that blankets the zone and lingers close to the ground. Space spraying is not a cure-all for fly or mosquito problems. It has its use for quick relief, but the results are only temporary. However, used intelligently and in conjunction with good sanitation practices, space spraying is a useful tool in any fly control program.
Because we're fighting a total war, our forces must be marshaled against every enemy, unseen as well as seen, in every place, all of the time. Millions of insects constitute an important part of our foes, in their way as militant as the Axis. Their menace multiplies as they multiply. Because in some areas more men were being incapacitated from action by insect-borne diseases than by battle casualties, a search for a more powerful insecticide than had previously been known was imperative. The answer to the quest for a poison to eradicate the insects which threaten the morale, health, and military efficiency of our troops was found in DDT. By intensive research, the nation's leading insecticide experts have determined the forms of DDT best suited to the needs of the armed forces. To this government laboratory, potential insecticides are submitted for evaluation. When the first sample of DDT was submitted in November 1942, it underwent routine tests. First synthesized by a German chemist in 1874,
Now, is that correct? There can be no German chemists in 1874 because Germany wasn't a country until what year? So we dealing with a whole theatrical understanding of how we were taught of in history. Press 1. So you know we dealing with a whole different false sense of what history even is. Now I heard people say history is his story, and that's true. I love when black people say that because it's like a mantra. You know, it is history. And that's what it is. His explanation on history, on what's his story on what happened to black people. And it's the best he can come up with. The German army went to war with Russia at the same time that we lent them money. And this is the story. So you got to be able to legally understand this story from a judge's and a jury perspective. Press 1. You say this motherfucker is going to come in my motherfucking courtroom and say what? So imagine you are a judge or the jury and you looking at his story of what this YMW Melly story. If you think YMW Melly he just wasn't in the car. You thought that was a doozy. Oh, you're going to love this, the next guy who walks up in this courtroom and tell us the reason why all them black people went missing and died because of this, or where they come from, or why was this taken from them. All this is because some guy from Germany in 1870 what? Sir, that's like me saying the Rolling 60 Crips in 1843 did this to my community. Press 1. That doesn't even make sense. So we have to, somebody said it in there, the rant, correct the timeline and understand their version. Keep an open mind. Just know that a German man, this is what he said. See, I'm prosecuting. Press 1. This is what he said. He said Germany, but we have the facts. You see how that goes? So go ahead. We dealing with a whole international military ran coup and total genocide of the Victorians and the people who were here established and were driven out and put on trains sometime in the 1900s. We trying to get an accurate account because it's looking like all the way up until you got here, all the way up until now. That's what it's starting to look like. But
DDT had not been recognized as an insecticide until 1939.
It wasn't. Then what was it before it was an insecticide?
Had not been recognized as an insecticide. The first sample of DDT was submitted in November 1942. It underwent routine tests.
1942.
First synthesized by a German chemist in 1874.
Oh my goodness.
DDT had not been recognized as an insecticide until 1939.
Wow.
When a Swiss chemical firm began
Wow, when a Swiss chemical war firm, press 1. Ain't this something? Ain't this something?
to use it against moths and plant lice. It arrived unheralded, but inherent was the power to curb epidemics.
Now, what was going on in 42? This is November 16, 19. What the fuck was going on in 42? Okay, then.
But inherent was the power to curb epidemics. For almost 2 years after its arrival in the United States, DDT was available only in quantities sufficient for experimentation. During this period, a formula for DDT emulsion concentrate, the golden liquid in the flask, was developed.
Wait, let's go back.
A formula for DDT emulsion concentrate,
Emulsion concentrate,
the golden liquid in the flask,
golden liquid.
was developed. It was found that the ideal dilution
Fear.
is 1 part emulsion concentrate to 4 parts water. This produces a 5% DDT emulsion. When thoroughly mixed,
What is your
the
body? What is your body made up of? Water.
DDT
Just let you
hangs
know.
in suspension. If this mixture
Hangs in what? Let's go back. You think she really cooking that? No. The scientific method that he talking about is still allegorical concept of your destruction. So keep your minds open. Science, allegory. Science is the alchemical religion that they practice. So they can put baby powder milk up in there and pretend she's shaking it up with no gloves on if they want to. Listen to what they are saying alchemically.
DDT emulsion. When thoroughly mixed, the DDT hangs in suspension.
Hangs when
this
thoroughly
mixture-
mixed. What is suspension? What is suspension? Let's go in the spirit world, hanging upside down. There it is. What is? What the
Yet
fuck?
stirring returns it to its former constituency, indicating a breaking of the emulsion. It was also found that when the mixture stands for 24 to 48 hours,
Now watch this. When the mixture stands for 42 to 48 hours after you get doped up with emotional wreckage,
a creamy layer rises to the surface,
it rises to the surface. It comes out of you.
indicating a breaking of the emulsion.
Bingo.
Yet stirring returns it to its former constituency,
Look.
and it regains its original effectiveness. In comparing the relative effectiveness of DDT and fuel oils, it was found that 1/2 pint of 25% DDT emulsion concentrate is equivalent in insecticidal power to 1 gallon of 2 1/2% DDT solution.
What?
In either form, it is adequate to destroy mosquito larvae over an area of 1 acre.
Wow. What is that? Now we got to go back and see what DDT was being used for at the time. What food products is this being used in? See? Now, that's not going to be hard to do because we live in an age where algorithm and Google run the world. So you, as a student, got to say, wait a minute. When did this happen? Vegetables, it was banned in 70. Oh, wow. So it was banned, oh my God, at the same time, aborted fetuses. At the same time, they stopped counting. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Earlier larviciding without DDT required 3 5-gallon jars of diesel oil per acre. To repeat, 1/2 pint of DDT emulsion concentrate or 1 gallon of 2.5% DDT solution is equal in larviciding power to 15 gallons of diesel oil. Tests were also made.
That's TNT? That's TNT? Okay, let's see. DDT is TNT. What the fuck? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh wee. No. Forget that. It's exposure to reproductive effects in humans is expected. Got it. Ah!
Physiologic effect of
Ah! Press 1. Ah! Told you. Get your ass, boy. God is good all the time. I knew it. I knew it. As soon as I clicked the next video, it's going to be here. This is the chemical warfare attack on you. They probably put it in your soda. They probably made it taste good. They probably did something, some type of flavor additive that made it for you to croak over in due time.
Upon insects. Absorbed through the feet or other parts of the body, DDT affects the nervous system and motor coordination of the insect. Several hours elapse before symptoms develop. Then in sequence follow restlessness, tremors, convulsions, paralysis, and death.
Damn, so like probably chicken pox. Because they said go through their feet, they soul, like their feet.
Before symptoms develop. Then in sequence follow restlessness, tremors, convulsions, paralysis, and death. Flies and mosquitoes react most quickly to this insecticide. Death comes more slowly to bed bugs and roaches. Complete annihilation of mosquito larvae requires 24 hours. Under the influence of DDT, they become paralyzed.
Wow.
And are unable to return to the water's surface.
Stillborns.
After a few hours, death ensues for all.
Damn.
The sample in the center so closely resembles cornstarch on the left,
Look.
and flour on the right,
Look.
that obviously this insecticide should not be stored in galleys.
Wow.
Because oil solutions penetrate the skin, carelessness in handling them is dangerous. If knapsack-type equipment must be used, it should be only half filled to avoid spillage. Occasional contact is not harmful.
It's
Repeated
poison.
contact must be avoided. One of the forms in which DDT is supplied in the Navy is the 100% powder for the preparation of oil solutions. When exposed to atmosphere and sunlight, it does not evaporate nor deteriorate. Unless all lumps are broken apart, a jelly-like coat which defies solution forms about them when they are mixed with oil. Contact of the hands upon the dry powder is not dangerous.
I bet you this how they made Wonder Bread.
For in this form, DDT is not absorbed through the skin.
I'll bet you.
The physical properties
I'll
of
bet
DDT
you.
are such that it may be dispersed in emulsions,
I'll
in
bet
oil
you.
solutions, or in dust solutions.
I bet you
Oil
vegetable.
solutions are
I bet you
probably the
like
most
all this
useful
little vegetable oil and all of this extra combustive boom shit is like what?
form. Diesel oil number 2 as a solvent gives excellent results. for it has a viscosity well suited to the sprayers now in use.
Look.
The powder is thoroughly suspended in a small
That look like
quantity of
y'all
oil before it
skillets.
is added to the bulk in the drum.
I'm not eating no more. I'm eating baked
Saturated
food.
fuel oils contain about 9% DDT.
It's gonna make bread.
Crude kerosene dissolves about 7%.
It's gonna make pizza dough.
Refined kerosene less than 4%. In mixing
Hell
oil
no.
solutions, a special care against contact with the skin should be exercised.
I'm gone.
For the oil
yeah.
penetrates the skin.
Oh.
Large doses of DDT lead to nerve and liver damage. DDT goes into solution in oils rather slowly,
Where my water?
requiring
I'm
12
out of
to
here.
24 hours. The warmth of the sun and hourly stirring by rolling hasten the process.
Ah.
DDT does not deteriorate under temperatures encountered in ordinary storage aboard ship or in the tropics.
What did happen?
When a dry mix is desired, the 10% DDT powder is diluted with fine road dust, condemned flour, lime, or soapstone.
All right.
100% DDT occurs in particles too large and hard to be broken up without heavy grinding equipment.
Why you ain't got no glove?
Hence, it cannot be diluted in the field for use as a dust. Thorough mechanical mixing is required. The strength of the mixture is determined by its intended use. It would be difficult to scatter 1 pound of 10% dust evenly over 1 acre. But 10 pounds of 1% dust may easily be spread over the same area.
Hell no. We never.
Now let's consider the ways to disperse DDT. Equipped with a supply of oil solution and power spraying equipment, a malaria control squad enters an abandoned village, a reservoir of infection. Within 24 hours, the vectors of typhus, yellow fever, malaria, dengue, filariasis, and dysentery begin to disappear. DDT is not a repellent, however. It kills, surely, but slowly. Hence, its effectiveness cannot be measured by a count of dead insects. Or after receiving a lethal dose, the insects go elsewhere to die. Residual treatment of the inner walls of these huts means that a contact poison awaits any insect which alights upon them for several weeks or months, depending upon variant factors.
So they going to somebody else's house spraying they shit with this, they gonna die. Remember we was saying this, oh, somebody in the chat said it's in the paint? It's like in there, let's take for instance, if you're thinking Universe 25, remember that they said it was in the buildings, in the paint, in the buildings itself? You may be dealing with an intentional poisoning of African Americans before they even get there. They're moving into a space where these insecticides and pesticides will cause dementia, will cause mandatory, argumentative, hyper, and lower the attitude adjustment. That's how you got to think. You can't think metaphysically. You have to think reality. The alchemical basis for the extermination process and how it was done in their so-called utopia, Universe 25, or something of that notion. You feel me? See, Deb knows a specific side, and people see that side because she's older than us. So we gotta, thank her. But there's other people who know this, and not just a white folk or Asian. Black people know this. This was done by the military in Cambodia when they were rounded up and then their homes sprayed with fly. What the fuck did this got to do? Oh, because of malaria. Oh, that's why. But these people have been living there the whole time. Let me go to a caller and see what the callers out there think. Hold on, caller. Let me plug you in. I wasn't ready for you. Let me see here. All right, champion. You on the air. What up? Is he there? I hope he's there. Are you there? Maybe not. Maybe it's not time for you to get on yet.
such as the intensity of the original treatment, rains, washing, prevailing winds, and so forth. Using a paint sprayer, the worker spreads DDT evenly so that the entire surface is covered. A semi-coarse spray is required for residual treatment. A fine spray is lost in the air. Experience teaches the correct amount to spray without waste. The entire surface should be thoroughly wet, without runoff. Residual treatment of all quarters pays big dividends in the health and happiness of the crew. In a few hours, a two-man crew may treat hundreds of mattresses and bunks with 5% DDT and kerosene.
All right. So now remember they said a lot of the smallpox and the reactions that was coming was from the mattresses. Here we go. This is in the files.
If correctly applied.
So now we have found we may have found a relation to the two on how these chemical reactions were happening, like smallpox and things at the time, because of the same because they ended up going into treatment homes, and we suggest exterminated or unfit when they may have been poisoned. Think about it.
This renders sleeping quarters free from bed bugs for many months. Mattresses should not be slept on until the kerosene has evaporated.
Wow.
And the smoking lamp should be out until the following morning. Because DDT crystals cling tenaciously to the fibers of textiles, cots, tents, and jungle hammocks should receive the residual treatment. By treating bed frames and springs in this position, salvos are simultaneously fired against the bed bugs in the walls. This increases efficiency and eliminates waste. Before treating galleys and mess halls, food, trays, cooking utensils, and work tables must be covered. Kerosene is used as a solvent for residual spraying of areas where stains from darker oils are to be avoided. For residual treatment against roaches, 5% DDT and kerosene, fuel oil, or emulsion is sprayed around pipes, in cracks, and in other places they frequent. It is as effective as 10% DDT dust. DDT crystals in the interstices of screens poisons insects where they frequently alight. Here, DDT emulsion is applied with paint brushes. When the emulsion has dried, the screen has almost regained its former appearance. An alternative method for treating screens is with an ordinary spray gun. The insecticide is more apt to be wasted this way, however. DDT oil solution leaves an effective residuum on garbage racks and other fly habitats. Since these surfaces are frequently washed, repeated applications become necessary. Because dysentery is second only to malaria as a threat to military operations, it is especially important to treat the slit trench and surrounding areas. Garbage pits, dugouts, and gun emplacements should be similarly sprayed.
Cutting off the food supply reduces the rat population, since rats must spend more and more of their time searching their home range for food, and even extending their search to adjoining areas. For new food sources.
So when y'all see these rat things, remember, this is Universe 25. This was alive. It just wasn't in that small area. They made a whole community full of rats.
In doing so, they expose themselves to increased risks and accidents. The mortality rate rises considerably. When rats risk seeking food at sources already controlled by other rat colonies, the scavenging rat is often treated...
You see how this wall ain't even real in the background? Let's look at cry for help and the dementia, public health. Look. Holy shit.
This kind of born with relative.
Boy, they got some movies you can look at. Boy, they got some movies you can look at. Oh, check this out. Schizophrenia and dementia. Just pay attention. For nurses who out there dealing with people with dementia and these type of things, let me know. Because at this time, I'm dealing with our people. You feel me? And it's something special going on. So, just pay attention. There's no sound to this. But this is what you're dealing with at the time. Silly grinning and talking to one-on-one. And I think that's what was going on with these testing facilities. Oh, chemical blazed. I remember they said they had Hitler and them put a bunch of people on LSD. And at the same time, I think that's what we're dealing with in a lot of these situations. Especially knowing where this stuff come from. They probably was biochemically testing unknowingly people all over the place. You got no idea what's going, and they blamed all this on Adolf Hitler and type of shit. He done stood this dude up like, I don't know if this is real or not. What I'm saying is, this is what they're doing. And they were selling this to the public. Thinking back, I bet you this is how they subdued all of the people. These look like the drug addicts that's out there in the street. The crackhead. Press one. Tell me them people ain't linked over like this. Be quiet. Don't even lie. Tell me them people over there ain't linked over all in Philly, all in Baltimore, all over the downtowns of all the democratically ran. Are they not linked over like this? Are they not? Take a listen. Look. It's on the air. Could crack been forced on the people? Is crack and LSD and cocaine, is all of these an attack, a known specific? Look, so you got people dealing that are what? Incompetent because they dealing in what? Drugs. And drugs can seep through your hands and all of these great things. And if you deal crack and all of these things, you notice people who do drugs, they know I'm telling the truth. Coffee and Kush TV, you on the air, what up?
Yeah, this is G from Richmond, Virginia. For the sake of today's class, are you familiar with the term Operation Paperclip?
Yeah.
Okay, because this is exactly what this is about. We got a lot we kind of line up or goes towards the direction of, post World War II, they hired a great fraction of Nazi Germany.
No, this is before. This is before.
Well, before. The public data says after, but the class, we found that they were definitely in cahoots the whole time. But with that, like the stuff you're presenting in the class right now, but I'm finding that they have a heavy influence in medicine, like opium, like the opiate.
Yeah.
Opiate.
Okay. Good. Cool. Cool. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. Right now, we dealing with schizophrenia and all of this good stuff. To deal with the class, and that's it. This is 1938. You said you said this is after the war, but this is 1938. There is no Germany at this time.
Very well.
So Operation Paperclip is what?
No, in short word, Operation Paperclip is a term that's like was like a post World War II term.
No. It's an operation that the military said happened. And what happened?
Oh, no, in short, this is when they hired German scientists and engineers, like 1600 Nazi scientists, engineers, and doctors.
And chemists and things of this nature, right?
Yeah.
Okay, these are the exterminators. These are your exterminators right there. I said those would be your exterminators right there. All the biochemistry, all the different things that was going in. They trying to exterminate them at that point. Go ahead.
I guess they had to, like for the theater of war, they had to portray that. I guess they destroyed these people.
Yeah, they had to. They had to say they went to war. They went to war. They died in war. They died in war. This is the story. All them black people died in war. That's it. They were sailors. They went off to war and they died in war, and that's that. That's the story.
Okay.
And what happened to them? They were exterminated. Thank you for the call, champion. Let's stay focused. These tests was already being done right here in the Americas before and all this. So in my brain, I'm letting you know that all of this was going on before Operation Paperclip and all the things they said they needed chemists and the drugs and all of these things. No. It's starting to look like the hood was a real project to pass this off as, look at this, pseudo-echopraxia. Repetition is present, but performance is spontaneous, suggestible. Look, under these drugs, you're going to end up doing everything they tell you. Hypnotized. Press 1. Hypnotize. Hypnotism. It looks like they teaching them how to be human beings. Sheesh. But you do this. Say you come up and then that hurt. This hurt. Say pray. Oh my God, my knees hurt. Step up like this on the step. Put your foot down. Go down. Let the dog go this way. Right. Shake a hand down all the way down. This is how you move. Look. Put your feet out. Look. Man. Kind of like Apple Kappa Kappa dances when y'all go to them schools. Press 1. Hit the like. hit the like button and subscribe, nigga. That boy Kev Cole, just like them Alpha Kappa dances, y'all. That's the only thing that look like this shit on them Egyptian walls that Jabari speak of. This is why I love my channel, cause look at all this truth that's out here. You know, don't call my show. I'm not even looking for no callers. I didn't say. You know, I want to accept the calls, but guess what? Kev is restructuring his whole show. So bear with me, callers. I'm not even taking no calls. I'm going straight to the classroom. It's too many callers that be calling on too much other shit, and most of them is men. Press 1. I'm cool. So, you know, I got to teach the sisters these things because, you know, it's up to them to get their mind right. So the fellas be right behind them. Y'all got to go back to I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging out the passenger side of his best friend ride. Trying to holler at me. That's the spirit that's right here, right now, at the U. They don't want no scrubs, and it ain't a guy hanging out the passenger side. Sometimes that's even okay, because who knows why a person ain't doing what you think is good or right or wrong. But what I'm saying is, ain't no more dumb. I don't want no dumb. A dumb is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging out the... We'll call them niggas dumb. I don't want no dumb. A dumb.
A terrible process, according to Dr. Calhoun.
The two conditions that they went through was that there was a decision.
Now we know officially that we don't want nobody who don't know. Everybody know McGraw-Hill is the guy whose name is on every book in school. Everybody right now, look at your neighbor and say,
not like this.
We already know.
Not like this.
We are, see? Look at the name. You know where you seen that name. You know damn well where you see. Everybody know this book. This guy here, McGraw-Hill. Ain't McGraw-Hill a motherfucker you always wanted to know who that motherfucker was? Well, guess what today? KevRow is going to tell you who McGraw-Hill is. Press what? Look, McGraw-Hill on social studies book. The motherfucker McGraw-Hill on social studies got an ape on the front like this. He talking about you. What's the ape to the bed? And we ain't even talking about anthropology. We ain't talking about social studies. McGraw-Hill. We all are connected by way of this social study mechanic. So we all know this. We all know this. And to new students who may be in the school system today, I don't know who names is on the front of them. But if you don't know McGraw-Hill, Google it. Google it. You ain't old enough. Yeah, look at this. Universe 25. Now watch this. Watch this. Universe 25. 1972. Fall of 1972. Universe 25. Study 102. McGraw-Hill. Scenes included the last survivors, like a goddamn video game. Press 1. So get y'all thinking caps on. We was born into this. I told you, Chris Cook, it's going to get ugly. But you know what? If you keep your blinders on, remember, it's only holographic past stuff. And we just on the roller coaster backwards. You ain't even got to roll no more. Kev got it. I'm just going to pull the thing and we going backwards. Press 1. Don't even waste your time. I got it. So McGraw-Hill. Remember, this is like Universal Studios. Press 1 with these special KevRow glasses. Everything look 3D. Press 1, but it's not real. Don't worry about it. Just keep all hands inside the motherfucking machine at all times. Press 1. Just make sure you got you keep your hands like this in front of you, like you're a Masonic person. I'm just playing. I'm just fucking with y'all. Press 1. I ain't gonna make y'all mad today. Y'all get on the roller coaster too. So keep your hands inside. Keep the 3D glasses on. McGraw is about to teach you the same stuff you didn't learn in that book because you was too busy worried about who the fuck is McGraw to tell you anything about social ability when he just raped and pillaged us. Press 1. We sitting in class like, fuck, bro. Why are they teaching? Why are they forcing me to believe I'm a monkey? Why they keep showing me rat rats and squirrels and shit, bro. That's how black people spend their time at schools. The fuck is all this, bro? All the white presidents and shit. Fuck all this. I'm going outside. Fuck all this, teacher. Call my mama. Woo, I love Democrat schools. The niggas do what the fuck they want to do. Yeah, just call my mom, bro. Tell her to come pick me up, bro. I'm gonna go right to fucking Burger King. I'm gonna be over there. I can't stand this shit, bro. We slaves and all of this one.
2.5 years.
So pay attention. This is really about Universe 25, the mice, and all that. That is not University 25. It's Universe 25. And we all know all of the Terminators enforce this method. Utopia. So Princella, a.k.a. T23,000, press 1. She's part of the Clones Rebellion. And you got to watch these females that's out here trying to make an all-female utopia because they brain have been put inside a simulator machine called Death Square Cube, where all the rats and shit die, and the only niggas who can make it out is the people who watched the Maze Runner a few times. Press 1. You ain't gonna make it out of Universe 25 if you don't watch KevRow. Now let's listen. Bring them notepads out.
We found Dr. John Calhoun knee-deep in mice in the mouse heaven he designed for the National Institute of Mental Health Animal Center near Washington. Dr. Calhoun...
You see that? You see how that look like bean pies, my brother? All right, and cheesecakes, my brother? Press 1. Okay? Don't do it.
Wanted to find out what would happen to a mouse colony given everything mice need.
You see? Everything mice need. Think of it, my new students, like welfare. All of the people who didn't take welfare, stand up and put your hand up. All of the people who grew up on welfare, press 2. This is a scientific truth test. If your family grew up on welfare, press 1. If they didn't, press 2. Because they used this against each other. This was the people in the ghettos grew up under this mentality, taken care of. So these rats will never know what it's like to do things on their own. Press 1 for the people who press 2. Do y'all get it? So the people in the projects that appeared to not have it all and was convinced that they didn't have it all were actually the ones who were taken care of their whole life. You got it? There's yes or no. Those rats don't know what the fuck it's like to be out in the world on their own. Them all my friends, all that shit. They'll never leave the utopia of ghetto heaven, like Tupac say. And that eventually turns into what we see in the hoods. So when Jamie Foxx in his movie has been advertised for y'all to go see it on Netflix, pay attention. It's all coming from this specific theory. You understand? So understand why your brothers over there feel like they never had enough. But Tupac say, but we always had enough. We always had it rough. We thought we had it rough, but we always had enough. So you got to put that into real perspective and what complexity of the mind our brothers is talking from and real psychologists is coming from when they tell you to get off of the titty in the church. It's coming from a scientific curse and even scriptures say you have been spoiled. That's given everything. The beneficiary and all that came by way of giving you everything. And a lot of things you didn't have to work for in the hoods and totally took advantage of just the ability to, and that's how our people was in the past. It wasn't welfare, it was the blessing of God. So when you misuse the blessings of God and take for granted, it causes what? Disdain, grief. And now look what white people did when they usurped the government. Never again. What? Who wants to give that up? Even at the expense of you. You don't even know what type of blessing you got. Nations will destroy you for you. That's just the point of view of the will and testament of Scripture. That's why it tells you to follow the law so this wouldn't happen to you. So a bank couldn't come in a foreign nation and say, that's all right, we got you. Here, we can dish out the money better than you can dish it out because you're incompetent. Oh, you didn't know? Oh, let me do a test. Put this on your arm. Oh, yeah, you're incompetent. Come on this way. Let us take care of you. Pay attention.
Except living space. The result was chilling. 2.5 years ago, more than 2,000 mice were packed into Mouse City. Today, a tiny handful of survivors huddles in one corner of the city.
So what that mean? Think of it like America, or the land of the freedom land. The land of the free, but freedom land. Now look, a few left and a few hot spots and corners all over the place. You got to think back then, because again, this was the utopia Disney was talking about. And it ended up being, they were doing these experiments to test it on you.
Dr. Calhoun explains what the overcrowding did to Mouse City's inhabitants.
The last 1,000 animals born never learned to develop the social behaviors.
Boom.
They never learned to be aggressive.
Boom.
Which is necessary in defense of home site.
That's right.
They never learned to court.
Court. They don't know how to deal with women correctly. Press one, and you see the men from these generations, we were born into not knowing how to deal with women correctly. You get what I'm saying? So when women see us, they like, well, you're not courting correctly. So it's because we was born in a world where that wasn't taught to us. In the same sense, these niggas on the internet say black women are too aggressive, they wasn't taught to. Well, if you follow this study, in which is approved, I told y'all this was a success, not a failure. This is right where they want you. Not knowing how to be a wife. Not knowing how to be in your feminine, they say, energy. You were forced into that. And everybody want to act like they don't want to know why. And I can take advantage of that and get views, and we can all clown, or we can just be real and see what Pac was talking about. We was given his hand. We didn't make it. So where in our history did it happen? Right here at the scientific study on how to break you down. And we got to be honest with that. You know what I'm saying? Like Kev wasn't born to know how to talk or nothing. Why? Because we was taken care of like this. But it was a project at the same time. So you're not guilty, but you got to understand your symptom. And don't be listening to no YouTubers get diagnosed, every one of y'all at the same time, when they don't even understand the scientific quantum research that went into destroying your life and not having you live in the real world and always being in a simulated test like atmosphere. You get me? It's real.
No mating. Being no mating, there were no progeny, and the older animals.
There wasn't no mating, wasn't no misogyny. Now Marys get they I mean it wasn't none of this shit, so they just wiped it out. This is what Candace and them is this is what these advertisers are pushing, male misogyny and what's manly and what's not. It's a media put down on the masculinity of male as a collective. Even though this media personality is saying, oh, the left is doing this. There's no left. Who's the left and the right? Us, the people, every 4 years we can change our vote. So why are they fucking us up with this mental enslavement? And why are we being so rat-like when it comes to responding? Well, the answer is you don't know what world you live in. But guess what? This is the part of the movie Morpheus comes to tell you.
Whose behavior is already becoming disrupted, they eventually reach an age too old to reproduce.
Look.
And so it was all left up to these.
They don't have kids, women. You will have an all-female, and then they can convince you what? The atmosphere or the groups will convince you what? Males are needed. Now, you maybe have went through something at the time where you picked the wrong males, and males ain't shit. Just like a lot of females out here ain't shit. But we allow these tests us already in place, these mindsets, and we feed into the propaganda. Now we hanging out with niggas who don't even like females. And now y'all hanging out with females who don't even like men, and then there's no children by you. And it's all bad.
Last time.
What old boys say, tiny draws, little draws, it's all bad, bro.
1,000 or so, whom we call the beautiful ones, because not engaging in any stressful activity and only paying attention to themselves, they groom themselves well.
Narcissistic.
They look.
They make sure they give only about themselves. Press 1. That's it. So when you're on Instagram and you seeing these people pop up and they only really looking at themselves and the validation coming up in chat, rather really believe that, like really naturally be. A lot of that is coming from this mindset. Again, all personalities within the construct. Let's keep going.
Very fine specimen. But from that point on, which was about the time that you were here 2.5 years ago.
I'm not saying females don't look good. I'm not saying women ain't beautiful. I'm not saying, what I'm saying is the narcissistic beauty and approach where you are glorifying oneself in that comes from a project mindset. And I bet you that chemical and all that was put in your goddamn wig so you can put that little, turn that little active button small wonder brain on, and you be out here popping and throwing your hair around that you just bought for $69.99. Press 1. To the contrary, men too. Men do the same thing. So I'm not, this is my way. I like to pick at the ladies because I'm like they little cousin and little bro, big bro. I'm just letting you know, you may not know where, and those attributes become familiar because that's what it is.
There's reproduction totally ceased, and the animals have just aged and died.
At least one human.
And that's why, what was Kevin Samuels talking? Oh, y'all gonna get old and just die. Get a dog and just, see? So he's a part of that complex of propaganda that's pushing a specific statistical destruction on you. That's why all of his stats came from foreign eyes and Asian magazines that said black women are not the most beautiful women, but yet at the bottom of the barrel. Then Kev Gills finds the porn statistics. I don't know how I found that. And then I went and then the porn statistics just come out. Press 1, that black women are the most watched porn people on earth. Press 1. So I said, wait, but this is tripping. This is not true. I think it was on Instagram or one of these sites or something. But we brought it up here on the show, and we actually showed just how far black women were fantasized about. You know what I'm saying? So this propaganda, I realize, is all marketing. And then they end up saying, on Fresh and Fit, if you want to go viral and make a lot of money and stuff like that, you have to disrespect black women. And that right there was the eye-opener. Just as much as the eye-opener as Meek Mill coming out saying that they get paid more to talk about drugs and violence more. So it's the same thing. And it's time we start paying attention to that. On this level, where does this psychology come from? Well, the Gillespie algorithm Press 1. Patreon.com/KevRow. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm starting fresh. The Gillespie algorithm is real. We got to bring this to the forefront. That's what I bring to the community. The scientific study of your religious construct and how it is the worship of your own enslavement and destruction and sacrifice to foreign gods. Damn, hot boy. Press 1.
The Eat tribe, discovered in Africa by Dr. Colin Turnbull, has gone through a similar terrible process, according to Dr. Calhoun.
The two conditions that they went through was that there was a decision on the then colonial government to make a wildlife preserve of this big valley, which was their home.
Wow, so they made a World's Fair over there. Wow.
According to Dr. Calhoun.
Wow.
The two conditions.
Wow.
The Eat tribe, discovered in Africa by Dr. Colin Turnbull,
They made a, oh my
has gone
goodness.
through a similar terrible process, according to Dr. Calhoun.
Wow.
The two conditions that they went through was that there was a decision on the then colonial government to make a wildlife preserve of this big valley.
That's the same thing the federal government did here when they seized control. All federal lands became theirs once they seized control, and that was all she wrote. And they made an amusement park and out of our natural habitat. It's the same footprint of Satan itself.
Which was their home with their hunter-gatherers. They were moved up onto the mountainside and gathered together in much higher density instead of being spread out in small groups. They were all placed in one place, and also required to engage in an entirely different way of life, in which their social roles, everything they'd learned how to do had no meaning.
And they became European Moorish Frenchmen. This is where the French Moorish idea came from and being raised as a project, as a scientific project. I don't mean to disrespect the Moors. Much respect to the Moors. But I need the Moors to understand the concept of what they think a Moor is was given to them in order to usurp the kings, the continental kings of this nation, and which I'll call Canada and South America. But you guys were a part of that invasion to usurp this nation by way of friendship treaty. So even they got to understand that they were brought out of their tribes in order to stand up by artificial intelligence. So to keep it 100, the kings and queens humans, artificial intelligence and the workers, federal government and them, the usurpment of the royal bloodlines for the time being, royal bloodlines out of power for a while, the clones in full power raised you upward. Now you think that you are a god when you are a creation and a friend, but a mere creation of those who usurp the real gods and the lords of this land. You got me? You got to put it into perspective. So every development is the clones is right here. That's them. This is oh, you can't have a soul to do these types of scientific projects on human beings just to see what happened. Or is it, like I said, racial cleansing? Either or. Does it both of them is equally as terrible as the final studies is coming out. And looking back from this point of view has been nothing but an African American Holocaust. And somebody got to explain why we ain't got shit, quoting the great Tupac Shakur.
Under those conditions, the social behavior broke down entirely. They began living. They still lived together, but their activities were just directed towards themselves.
Self-centered.
Everything you would think that's human.
Broke down the community, became self-worship, idol worship, the need to stay put. Remember, we're talking about a specific mindset to keep you complacent. Not anything else, is to make you stay put in your own mental cocoon. based off a narcissistic self-worship point of view. You got it? So that's the program. This is where a young pharaoh and these ideological mindsets come from. Now, they will say the black woman is God, but he's born in a world where that mental complex was there for him already. So he don't know nothing but and then he had to find out the hard way, you know? So it's important that we remain positive and knowing it's a journey, you know, but I think I can say we're literally becoming little scientists.
Perhaps the most chilling conclusion from his Mouse City studies, says Dr. Calhoun, is that once this change in social behavior occurs, it apparently cannot be reversed.
Now, can it be reversed? Now, wait a minute.
He studies, says Dr. Calhoun, is that once this change in social behavior occurs, it apparently cannot be reversed.
Wow.
It's this fact of apparent irreversible phase shifts that gives some of us a particular concern over the fate of the human situation, because we see worldwide the breaking down of social roles, the increase in contact as a result of the breakdown of the social roles and because there are too many people, that this might lead to an overriding of our controls.
Pay attention to the words. What? Because it's not, if something happened, it's going to automatic overriding of control.
Culture and would be set into a process which would either fix us rigidly forever into some sort of global tribalism without any adaptation to change, or there would result perhaps eventually some decline, very much like we've seen here, but that postponed somewhat.
Dr. John B. Calhoun, with a very sobering look at a possible future for us. Bill Roberts from the National Institute of Mental Health Animal Center near Washington.
Dr. Calhoun, why do we have to make decisions now on our population control?
Well, the population's a very interesting one. There's a lot of talk about a population explosion. Well, there's no population explosion, at least not quite yet, and never has been, or I might say there's always been a population explosion. If we go back to about 40,000 years ago, there were perhaps 4.5 million people on Earth.
Now you see that? He's not talking about 40,000 years ago. For that construct is, they're talking about the extermination. Okay, so anytime, I told the class, anytime they start dealing in these time immemorials and them knowing how many people was on the earth at this time and all of this, it's almost embarrassing to go back at our intelligence now and look back and say, wow, we were really brought low as intelligence, and look how far we came mentally. I mean, I ain't graduated nothing on this earth, but guess what? I can see this.
There'd been not many fewer than this for the previous 2 million years of man's evolution. And then suddenly, the numbers began to increase, and perhaps a little crude drawing here will show this. These are in millions now, and this is 1, 10, 100 million, 1 billion, and we go up above here. And if we take a time scale here, an inverse log, if we go back to 100,000 years ago, and we go back to, we'll make this then to 10,000 years ago to 1,000 years ago. Yeah. 1,000 years ago. Then 100, which is 1/10 to 1 year from some time in the future. So these are in time, in thousands of years. And if we look at population growth in this way, starting back about 40,000 years ago, population starting at about here has gone roughly along this direction. Now, this is a rather complex curve. It's a von Forster curve, but simply said, starting here at 40,000 years ago, it took about 20,000 years, about 20,000 years for the population to double. Then the next doubling required about 10,000 years. Then each doubling, 5,000 years to the next doubling, 2,500, and so on.
What doubling are we in now, Doctor?
We're in the 10th doubling, in the 11th doubling.
Is that the final one?
Well, pretty near, it might be. The final doubling, starting shortly after the next, up here. We're up in here, scale about right, at which the world population might be of the order of 4.5 billion now.
So as you can see, all of these things about extermination is all based off of what's the 0 point. You see where he talking about time and what else? What does he put up here? Because I went to the restroom. What is he measuring here? Let me go back.
1,000 years ago, there were perhaps 4.5 million.
Damn, we may have solved their master equation. Lord have mercy.
People on Earth.
Listen.
And it had been not
what is it?
Many fewer than this for the previous 2 million years of man's evolution. And then suddenly, the numbers began to increase. And perhaps a little crude drawing here will show this.
Okay, what's that?
These are in millions now.
Millions.
And this is 1.
Oh, that's memorial.
100 million.
All right, Brazil.
1 billion.
There's a people.
We go up above here.
All right.
And if we take a time scale here,
okay,
an inverse log, if we go back to 100,000 years ago.
What do you say? Inverse. Oh my goodness.
And we go up above here.
It's an inverted sense of reality. Look.
And if we take a time scale here, an inverse log, if we go back.
We're actually, oh my goodness. We didn't. Time travel. We said time.
To 100,000 years ago, and we go back to, we'll make this then to 10,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago. Yeah. 1,000 years ago. Then 100, which is 1/10 to 1 year from some time in the future. So these are in time, in thousands of years.
Go ahead.
And if we look at population growth in this way, starting back about 40,000 years ago, population starting at about here has gone roughly along this direction. Now, this is a rather complex curve. It's a von Forster curve.
He was straight to fuck up.
Simply said, starting here at 40,000 years ago, it took about 20,000 years.
Look at this.
Just back far. About 20,000.
I promise y'all, family. Woo! I got the whole American system in my hand. Like, wait a minute, bro. This shit look tricky as bro. They don't even say nothing about no 40,000 years. About nothing right there, Mr. Roger. Woo!
Years for the population to double. Then the next doubling required about 10,000 years. Then each doubling, 5,000 years to the next doubling, 2,500, and so on.
What doubling are we in now, Doctor?
We're in...
He said, what doubling are we in? Oh. Oh boy, I wish I would have asked questions in school like a motherfucker. Sir, what doubling is we in now? Oh my goodness, that's hilarious to me.
It took about 20,000 years.
He break this shit down. You damn right I'm a professor. If this is a doctor and a professor, you damn right now I'm a fucking nigga, I'm a space engineer compared to this shit, nigga.
About 20,000 years for the population to double.
All right.
Then the next doubling required about 10,000 years.
Watch this one.
Then each doubling, 5,000 years to the next doubling, 2,500, and so on.
What doubling are we in now, Doctor?
We're in the 10th doubling, the 11th doubling.
The 11th doubling.
Is that the final one?
Well,
Conor McGregor is from Dublin, Italy. And where they from? They swear they the Irish, the Fighting Irish. Woo, Dublin, Ireland. He said, "Is this what Dublin are we in right now? Is this the?"
Pretty near, it might be.
Oh my
500
goodness.
and so on.
What doubling are we in now, Doctor?
We're in the 10th doubling.
We're in the worst doubling they can be in, nigga.
Is that the final one?
Well, pretty near, it might be. The final doubling, starting shortly after the next...
reset.
Here.
Say it. Tataria. Say the shit.
We're up in here.
Go ahead.
Scale about right. At which the world population might be of the order of 4.5 billion now.
We in 4.5 billion.
Would require only 20 years to double. So starting from 20,000 years for the first doubling up to about 20 years if this historical process.
And now this problem is people don't die during this doubling. Press 1.
Continues. No, so that we're back here a little ways from that, not very far from early in the next century.
Can it be mathematically projected, Doctor, on a calendar year perhaps when the population reaches the point where it outstrips our natural resources, our power supplies, our food supply?
When you say mathematics...
This is where supreme mathematics came from. Press 1. Choke no joke. Come here. Cug got his math from Mr. Rogers. Press 1.
Not like this.
Sonetta and them.
Not like this.
Oh my goodness. Hey, Art, bro. Hey, Cug over there. They over there daydreaming with Mr. Rogers' blood on the set. They whole kingdom is full of puppets and trains made from San Francisco. Hey, listen here, you little Muppet babies. Press 1. Oscar the Grouch is up. Press 1. For the simple fact, y'all up here calling people white.
Projected, Doctor, on a calendar year perhaps when the population...
Yeah, choke no joke. Look, he holding up the Nazi...
Not like this. Not like this.
Death Square. We missed the whole thing. Press 1. I knew it. You some of my guns. You some of my bitches. Press 1. I woke up like this. I told you. We gonna figure out why they hold their hand up at 45-degree angle. Press 1. Y'all are in big trouble. Because guess what? I'm telling. I'm waiting on y'all to get better. I'm telling. Y'all been doing this for quite some time.
Process continues.
So the swastika and to have your hand directly straight up like that. Now
would
you
require
know.
only 20 years.
Now you know with the whole baseball game
to double.
is
So
all.
starting from 20,000 years for the first doubling up to about 20 years if this historical process.
Press 1. So what you watching is the reason why you in the box. You see? Kev got you. Look what I done did today. We came on singing and karaoke. You see how full of life it's not hard to give you the truth. The thing that makes it hard is when people call my show to distract me from being myself. To take the conversation away, whatever I'm talking about, to put it on what they talking about. Well, guess what? Mr. Gillespie have arrived, and I'm here to let you know the reason why they hold their hand up this way. It's the same reason they play baseball. Press 1. It's the cube. Dev square. Press 1. Kevin Gillespie. In Pandora's box. Press 1.
Not like
Y'all
this.
ain't ready. Let's see. I got to do theatrics
Not
too.
like this.
You see. They got smoke bombs and CGI. We got reality. Press 1. Kev is dealing on a whole nother level. See, I told you I'm better. Time immemorial. Time and space. These are all riddles to the great riddle of them all. Press 1. Press 1. Lord, if it ain't live, it ain't me. Sheesh. I'm going to stop right here. Because my classroom, they spoiled. And I know that their minds don't go too far. And I'm not made to go too far. How long I been up here? 2 hours and 7 minutes. That's good enough. Now you see why they do this. This alone is boxes on top of boxes. This should solve the riddles to all of it that you've been thinking about this whole time. No, they did not. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. It's time you just face the truth. I'm right. Okay? Hit that like button and subscribe. Now, I want to give a shout out to all those people who hit up my Cash App this morning that helped this truth, which is some of the greatest truth you ever going to come across on earth. I'm going to take it slow, so people don't try to move ahead or think they further, or we don't leave no child left behind. We right here in one mental space. Now, if you want to call in and talk about what I just broke down, you have roughly 15 minutes. And talk about, oh shit, my bad. 15 minutes to go. Other than that, I'm up out of here. Press 1. Your boy Kev Gills did a great job today at you knowing why they hold the hand up at the 45-degree angle. Okay? I don't got to go into the next truth until you understand what this truth is. Okay? This is the box. You know how they say they keep you in the box? This is the box. I've been talking about the cube the whole time, and Muslims thought I was talking about them. Press 1. I told y'all, when y'all come to my class, in my world, stay out of your allegorical feelings, because it ain't going to work here. If not now, then never. I'm the greatest I ever been right now. Oh, yeah, I feel great. I feel so great, I got to go eat lunch. I feel so great, I got to go eat lunch. I've never felt this great. This is important because I've just cracked that code. That's your Pandora's box right there. What is the secrets to it? How and why is this even? Press 1. I know why. But, so I'm turning my phone off from you telling me why you don't understand, Mr. Gillespie. Y'all don't know what the spirit of truth does. You just see a past experience of why you are now realizing that. That's cool. But right now, you don't understand. This is great right here. This is great. We broke down time, the allegorical concept, your internal. This is why you're in the box. Your eternal hell, your space and time continuum. Why we keep reliving the same thing, being injected with the same trauma bonds over. Only trauma bond y'all know is relationship. Brittany say Mr. Gillespie is the greatest. Yes, I am. Press 1. See, if you got another person on the other side of that, you will see a knighting of something. You will see exactly what this has come to. Mr. Gillespie is the greatest. Press 1, I am the greatest. This proves it to those who got their eyes set on God. That's on them. That they can't see how good this really is. They think I'm playing. No, I'm not playing. This is what they've been hiding from you the whole time. Talking about what, Kev, what is death squared? You tell me. Children of the sun? Come on. Tell me. It was the seed of Satan. Hit that like button as they ain't the children of the sun. This is sons of God, champion. Prometheus runs nothing. Press 1. Y'all thought this was. This is God. These are people who are anointed to a celestial family that's beyond your fucking. If you could have, God would do like press 1, and when y'all be rap battling and spitting on each other's face, saying the most disrespectful, y'all would have did it then. When you was building up them cars and automobiles, that's what your gift is. Press 1, while you was about here building airplanes and spacecrafts, that's what your gift is. Press 1, while you was over there living on the back of a turtle, talking about using Indian flying through the universe, about the Nubaki tribe, that's what your gift is. Press 1. But see, mine is understanding why we in this real condition and how the Nazis won World War I and II, won World War II. And they blamed it all on the Germans after the war. Hit that like button and subscribe. What a time it is to be alive. They thought it was the time last year. No. This is the greatest time to be alive right here. Because KevRow is proving to you what it is. What it is. Ain't that a box? Ain't the Nazi logo is a box? You see it? That's a box. You have to open the box. Press 1. That's a box. The Chevron logo, those are 2 boxes stacked on top of each other.